Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, we are starting this 2 minutes late. As happens on occasion, technology issues. No one should be surprised by that. But we are up and ready to go. So, what are we going to talk about this afternoon? We're going to talk about the financial reporting that will be done moving forward using the CNP Web program. And before that, an Excel spreadsheet that I've developed to hopefully make life a little bit easier. All right. So, come on, you can do it. There we go. All right, so what's the new format? CNP Web does not have monthly financial reporting. There's only a space at the end of the year to enter yearly information. Financial information is still needed to help you run your program. We have a spreadsheet that you can fill out monthly. They'll give you quarterly information, and then more importantly, the year-end information that you will submit into CNP Web. This is the location of the spreadsheet. If you go there, financial reporting, and then you'll find the spreadsheet that you'll be using. As mentioned previously, it's broken up into basically 4 quarters: July through September, October through December, January to March, April to June. And then some districts have what they call a period 13. And what that period 13 is after June, things that are done but are applied to June. Your business office may not use period 13, your business office might. But that's a question to check with your business office. That way you can be reporting everything that happened in the fiscal year that it truly happened. What are you going to report in this new spreadsheet? Everything that deals with the child nutrition program. Excuse me. School lunch, after school snack, school breakfast, special milk, FFBP, summer program, when you're doing the summer. Right now, we're doing seamless summer, which is part of school lunch and school breakfast. So you'll be reporting your breakfast and lunch costs under those categories. You'll also can use this if you use CACFP, and also for reporting all a la carte stuff, also termed non-federal other food, catering, vending, snack sales, all of those good things that is not part of a reimbursable meal is part of a la carte. The spreadsheet's been set up so that if you report information monthly, it will automatically fill in on a quarterly report. It will also then automatically fill in to the yearly report, which is what you will use to fill in the financial information in CNP Web in July and August once the year has closed. The quarterly reporting, you're not going to be submitting reports to child nutrition anymore on the quarterly or monthly. The quarterly reports will be reported by your business office to the Maine Education Data Warehouse. They're probably already doing it. They're not going to upload the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is a tool for you to use to manage your program and then also have the data to report at the end of the year. The business office will use their tools, their programs that they use to track finances to report it to the Maine Education Data Warehouse. Once again, you'll be reporting CNP Web financial information, and you'll be entering the data. You're not going to upload anything. You're actually going to enter the data in CNP Web. Reporting income, same thing. But now you're going to be breaking it out. You're going to be reporting income for the programs. Instead of just saying federal reimbursement, you're going to list the reimbursement by the program. Is it lunch? Is it breakfast? Is it after-school snack? Whatever the reimbursement is, that's how you'll report it. Money from the students, are they buying extra lunch, breakfast, a la carte? All that's going to be reported separately. Other income, if you're not sure what it is, typically it will go under school lunch and you'll report it there. An example of that would be the town appropriation, because the town appropriation isn't broken out by program. They're giving you a lump sum of money to support the entire child nutrition program, so that for you would be reported as town appropriation. Reporting expenses, now you have to break out breakfast and lunch expenses. In the NEO system, you would report overall expenses to the child nutrition program, and then NEO would back out the breakfast costs you reported, snack costs you reported, to determine your lunch costs. Now you will have to do that before you enter it in the spreadsheet. All right, this is an example of the spreadsheet. It's an Excel document, and as stated here, green cells is where you will enter the data. So you'll see you've got school lunch, sales to children, sales to adults, interest, loans, state revenue match. That's all school lunch. So you can see where the red is. So let's look at the state revenue match. The only green cell is for school lunch. The red cells mean there's no data to enter there. There's nothing to look up, there's nothing to save, there's nothing to find. There is no applicable data for those programs. Anything that has a green cell can have applicable data. And then to the left, you'll see the orange cells, yellow cells, you choose the color. Those are formulas. So whatever you enter for school lunch sales to children, school breakfast sales to children, will total into that cell. The red cells and the yellow cells are locked. They're password protected. You cannot change them. If you try to type in those, it will give you an error message. Expenses, the same type method. You'll only enter data in the green cells. Yellow cells totals, you'll see at the bottom, total expenses. It's going to total all this stuff. The formulas are built in, the formulas are locked, so they cannot be changed. And then once you've got everything in there each month, you'll see at the bottom that it's going to show you a net income or loss for the overall child nutrition program, and then also for each of the individual programs listed: lunch, after school, breakfast, special milk. Did it generate income? Did it run as a loss? Any of these running as a loss is okay, except the a la carte program. A la carte program must generate money, a positive balance. It cannot be a negative. When you first start filling out this report in July, you'll enter the beginning fund balance or checkbook balance. You'll see that green cell right here. Once you fill that in, for the rest of the year, each month, the beginning balance will carry forward from the ending balance of the previous month. You don't have to enter a new beginning balance every month. The formulas in this spreadsheet will bring that information forward every month and into the quarterly reports. There is also in each section next to the income and the expenses, a box for notes. Is there something that you want to let people know about? This is your report. You're not sending this Excel spreadsheet to anybody. This is for you. But maybe there's a note that you want to put in here to remind you of something, to explain an adjustment that you made, so that when you go back, you can look at this and go, oh, okay, that's why I did that. That is also, it's just a white cell. It's not locked, but you can enter data there. It's an open cell. As I mentioned previously, you'll have at the bottom of the spreadsheet net income or loss for the program. And this is all going to be based on the information that you submitted above. It's all going to total down to this and tell you if that particular program, excuse me, generated or lost money. Also, as previously stated, if you're looking at this and the a la carte program shows a negative, there's something wrong. By federal regulations, the a la carte program cannot lose money. And maybe that's one of the notes you put in. You did a catering event on September 25th. You've got the bill, so you're going to bill for it. You sent the bill to the front office, they haven't paid it yet. So maybe you're going to put a note, a bill for a la carte catering for $275 has been sent. Then that will be coming in the next month. So if we're looking at this and trying to see what's going on, you can more easily answer the questions that for the data that you're putting for someone that asks those questions. On this, if you put in each month the number of school lunches, the number of after-school snacks, and the number of school breakfasts served, it will calculate a per meal cost of each of those individually. In the summer, if you put in the total number of reimbursable meals served, both breakfast and lunch, it will calculate a summer food service average cost for each combined breakfast and lunch. It doesn't break it out because you're not reporting that information separately. You're only reporting expenses to the summer program as an overall. Expenses to the national school lunch, you're breaking out between lunch, breakfast, and after-school snack. Already talked about this one. We're going to go ahead and skip right by it. All right, so now it's July. You're ready to enter your data into the financial data warehouse. Excuse me. Got to start using different terms. You're ready to enter your financial information in CNP Web. So I'm going to use the test site. I'm going to click on it. Here we go. Let's take a minute and see how this. So I'm going to sign in. It's under the National School Lunch Program. I'm going to say 22. You're not going to have to go through all of these because you're only going to be entering for your district. So you don't have to select a sponsor. Being a state admin user, I can see a lot more information. So when you're on the sponsor summary tab, you'll see the forms tab, which is already highlighted. You're going to click the plus button over here on the right. And that's going to bring up the report. And this, as I stated, this is the same format that the spreadsheet is in. Sales to children, school lunch. So if I enter $5 here, you're going to see when I go to the next cell, or once you're done, you're going to hit a calculate button and it's going to do all the math. You can't enter sales to children. Well, if you do, it should delete it. But it's going to add all of this information. Going to come down here. I'm going to say calculate. Oh, I took the cell out. Don't do that. Let's try this one. Let's try to calculate that one. I don't know why it's not calculating it. Calculate it must be saved to rerun the error check. Okay. It will calculate it, but this is in the same format. For instance, you see loans and interest. It's just a total figure. Maybe you do have to put in the totals. My apologies. You're putting in the total. It's going to calculate down here the percentages of the expenses that you're reporting. You're going to enter the totals and each individual amount. When you're done, you'll hit the calculate. It will do that. Now it asks at the bottom here, who filled out this report? Because we're going to look at it in our office, and if we have questions, we want to know who to ask. It also asks from the drop down, what's the last month? It could be June, it could be May. I do know some schools that submit a May report, and that's their final report because they have less than 10 days in June. So they do a May final report. If that's the case, you select May. Who filled it out, their phone number. You're certifying to the best of your knowledge this is true. You're going to calculate it, you're going to save it, you're going to exit, and we in the child nutrition office will review it. Let's see if I can get back to my PowerPoint. Am I there? I'm there. Howdy. Hot dang. I'm doing this right. Mark this on your calendar. We talked about this. You're going to choose the month, who prepared it. Yes, I certify to the best of my knowledge. This information is correct. Calculate, save. We'll take a look at it. One of the lines on the spreadsheet that I've left, even though it's not being used currently, is for indirect cost. Currently, there are no districts in the state of Maine that are allowed to charge indirect costs to federal programs. They can't charge indirect costs to just school nutrition without doing it for other programs that are running in the district. In order for a district to charge school nutrition indirect costs, they have to submit to the Department of Education Finance Office their plan and how they're going to calculate it. So if there's a propane tank that's used by both the science lab and the kitchen, it's either all paid for out of the general fund, or there's a gauge from the tank to the school kitchen. Because then it's not an indirect cost, it's a direct cost if it's metered and you can tell exactly how much the kitchen is using. You want to charge the kitchen for electricity, you're going to have to put a meter in to determine how much electricity the kitchen is using. As stated, the first quarter in July, you're going to put your July 1 beginning fund balance. Ending fund balance. It will calculate the ending fund balance for October for each month and for each quarter. Most districts now use the district fund balance. There still might be a couple that use a separate checkbook for the school nutrition account. If you use a separate checkbook for the school nutrition account, then you'll use that for your beginning checkbook balance. If you're using the district fund balance, then you'll find out from the business office what figure to put in for your July 1st beginning balance. As mentioned, all programs are included, even though a school might not be operating it. The school might not operate after-school snack through National School Lunch. Maybe it's doing CACFP after-school snack. Or maybe it's not doing any after-school snack. If you're not using one of the programs that are listed there, leave it blank. Why is it listed there? Things change. Maybe you decide later that you're going to operate an after-school snack. It's there. You start using it and using that information on the monthly sheet that you started with. Otherwise, if you're not operating that particular program, you can just leave it blank. Now, I know this went fairly quickly. This will be posted on the website. Do we have questions about what I've just said? And Paula's sitting there shaking her head, yes.
We do. When you talk about the Maine Education Data Warehouse quarterly reporting, are you talking about our quarterly uploads to NEO for financials?
If it's the entire Department of Education finances, yes. NEO will not take any financial information in the school nutrition program. The only information you will access moving forward in NEO is the direct cert list. So for the overall district financial into NEO, or however it's done, then the answer would be yes. Just school nutrition into the school nutrition part of NEO, the answer is no.
You mentioned the spreadsheet is for us. Are we not submitting this every month?
No. You're using that to see how your program is doing. Do you need to make changes at something? Especially if it's the a la carte. If your expenses are higher than you thought they were going to be, do you need to look at that and see, was something reported incorrectly? Go back to the trial balance from the business office and look at what they say you paid. If there's something on there that is not yours, which we found during reviews, it has to be adjusted by the business office and paid by a different fund. It is your tool to see how your program is running.
Is there a place for the number of CACFP suppers?
I did not do that. I would want to talk to the CACFP people because I'm not sure how information in CACFP is reported in their part of the program. I will talk to CACFP, see how things are done. I'm not sure anything will change because in CNP Web, it's just an overall CACFP. I will talk to them. Don't expect any changes.
When submitting the year report in CNP Web, what school year information are we entering?
The school year they just ended. So in July of 2022, you're entering information for school year, wait a minute, yeah. You'll enter information that's effective July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. School year 22 will be entered in July and August 2022.
Will there or are there accounts in the DOE chart of accounts specifically for FFBP and CACFP?
Yes. CACFP, yes. FFBP, no. I did not tie these to the chart of accounts. The chart of accounts is a lot more extensive than what is reported in CNP Web. Next.
Are we expected to separate food costs for breakfast and lunch? If so, how?
Well, typically, how do you determine the breakfast cost when you're reporting it in NEO? Were you doing that based on a flat rate of, you came up with whatever formula you used, that you're charging $1 for food, $1 for labor, and 10 cents for other? Then you're going to back those out manually from the overall cost for the food, labor, and other that you spent that month.
Are we putting the info under SSO this year?
No. SSO is part of the National School Lunch Program. The SSO on there, if you look at the spreadsheet, the SSO is red, and it says the title. Let me back up to it real quick. Bear with me. Gotta find it. So here's expenses. It says seamless, and this is the title in CNP Web, seamless waiver supper. So when you're reporting SSO, you're going to do the lunch cost, you're going to do the breakfast cost. Next summer, when you're doing a summer program in June, July, in June of 2022, you'll report it under the summer. Then when you start the new one for school year 2023, July and August summer will be reported under summer. Seamless waiver supper, as you'll see, is red. There's no data to be collected. Maine does not do seamless waiver supper. So it's red. It's part of the spreadsheet. It's part of the information in CNP Web. Maine doesn't use it, so we're not going to allow that data to be entered.
What do you mean by loans and interest?
I only put that in there because it's part of CNP Web. Other states may have that, and if your program is operating in the black and the fund balance for the district collects interest, it should be broken out to include you. I don't know of any districts that are having interest payments, loan payments. Other states may have it. It may happen, so it's left green. If it's possible it happens, it was left green. If it ain't going to happen, it's red.
Is this a new form? The form is not the one that's currently on the website. When will the new one be available?
Later today. Paula has the information. I will make sure she has it again. And before she leaves today, Paula is so good that it will be up today. Not instantaneously when we say goodbye, give her some time, but it will be up today. The recording of this will probably be up tomorrow. That depends on when Paula can get access to the recording. Sometimes it's today, sometimes it's tomorrow.
Could we get the address for the spreadsheet again? That would be our website, right?
The spreadsheet address will be on our website. Go to financials, go to quarterly reporting, and you'll find it there.
Is the spreadsheet required, or can we use our own financial reports to submit the end of year report?
You can use your own. I just think this is a good mechanism to see how your program is running, help you determine your per meal cost. Is it too high? Do you need to make adjustments? If you don't use this spreadsheet at all, and you just use a trial balance from the financial office, that's perfectly acceptable.
Wouldn't the July data already be on the yearly financial report we already submitted?
The only thing that would, for July, that would be there would be your ending cash book balance on June 30th. The rest of it's all new data. The June 30th report was for school year 2021 that ended 3 months ago.
So school year 22 needs to be all of our info for the year that just ended.
Just began. School year 22 began July 1st, 2021. July 1st, 2021 is the beginning of school year 22.
If I understand this correctly, we do not have to submit quarterly spreadsheets to DOE anymore, just yearly?
Correct.
Bless you.
I think I'm done. Okay.
Where should money received through ESER funds be recorded?
Just put it under NSLP or lunch other. No, sorry. Let me get back. Sorry. Income. Put it under other, and maybe you put in that information block, that especially for something special like that, what that other income is. When you report town appropriation in the information block, put that in the other as well. I want to bring up the actual spreadsheet. Bear with me just a minute. Go ahead and ask a question.
Now that we have been provided this instructional webinar, is the expectation that we begin doing this on 9/1?
Well, yes, you should be reporting the September information in this new one. If you had any data for the National School Lunch Program for July and August, for instance, you did run the summer program in July and August, so there is federal reimbursement and other income for that, and there is expense for the summer program, so that can be reported in July and August. September would be school lunch and school breakfast. This is the actual spreadsheet. You'll see that quarters are in green across the bottom. You'll see a notes section over here. So when you put in lunch, $12,500 for town appropriation, then you can come over here and say town approp 12,500. That way you, anyone else looking at that, knows what that means.
Our school has a checking account that collects interest. Should that go on in the interest section?
Is it school nutrition interest money? Then yes.
Can you explain again what, if any, role the business office has in this process, besides providing us with any info we need to complete the form?
That's pretty much it. You're going to take the information they give you, and then you'll use that information to complete this report.
When should this yearly reporting be submitted?
July and August 2022 is when it's expected this will be reported in CNP Web.
What is due for FY21?
A year-end spreadsheet. This district should have been, districts were supposed to be reporting quarterly spreadsheets. They're also supposed to report a yearly spreadsheet that has the detailed information for the entire year, not just the year-end wrap-up, all year. Currently, I've only received about 25 to 30% of those yearly reports for 2021.
You may have covered this one already, but where do we report items purchased for the school nutrition program using ESSER funds?
That will go other income, but then also in the notes, explain what that is so that someone else looking at this and help you to remember, you report that in September. June, you go back to this, someone's looking at it. what was that $12,000 for? Oh, I look in the notes, that explains what it's for. One more?
Couple more.
Couple more?
Okay, so clarification question. I reported my July and August 2021 in my yearly financial report. Do I report it again?
If you reported July and August 2021 in your year-end July 2021 that ended June 30th, no. You shouldn't have reported it there, but if you've already reported it, wait a minute, sorry, I'm thinking about this. Yes, put it in July and August for this year, because that's appropriate. We're not going to be comparing them. We're not going to go back and see, oh, they did this then, what's this for? Report for July, August, September 2021 on this new spreadsheet that we're looking at right now, so that it's true and accurate data. And when you get the fund balance from the business office, it will be correct.
Can both the food service director and the finance office have the ability to input info, or is it just one or the other?
Your call. If the business office fills it out, that's fine. If you fill it out working with the business office, that's fine, as long as it's good data.
Where do I find the yearly reporting requirement for 2021?
That spreadsheet will be removed. Use this one. Oh, you can't. We'll have a separate tab for the 21 spreadsheet. We'll have a separate tab for the new spreadsheet.
Are we doing this report if we are enrolled in the SSO program?
Yes. The SSO program, because it is part of the National School Lunch Program, you'll be reporting data under school lunch and school breakfast, not under the summer program, because even though it's called a seamless summer, it is technically a subcategory under National School Lunch and school breakfast.
FY21, are Q4 and year-end reports due? If so, where?
Just do the year end. You can either report it, submit it through the link on the website, or you can complete it and email it to me.
How often is the financial information supposed to be put into CNP Web?
After the year ends in July and August 2022. Don't put it in every month and go in and update it. Only submit the data after the year end is done and you have all of the data necessary to report it. No more questions? Going once, going twice? Sold. Thank you very much for joining us. And who's closing this, you or me?
Me.
Bye.